Hey guys, Grizzly here, and welcome back to my Noob's Journey video series. This will be the fourth game in the series, I believe. And now as I said in the last video, I'm getting up into higher rungs of the lower leagues, which is up to 186 now, and I'm going to start seeing some stiffer competition. So strap in, because it's going to be a long game. Half of it waiting. No, just kidding. Alright, so as you can see, I am against I believe his name is Lance Shadowstalker. It's the ally-based rogue. Haven't faced many of this guy before, to be honest. I mean, I've faced a few, but there are people usually just testing him out. So as you can see, I just start out real quick, ditching a card. Getting rid of Shadow Font is always a risky maneuver. Sorry, I had something caught in my throat. Getting rid of Shadow Font is always a risky maneuver. I may need that Shadow Energy later, but this early in the game, I can't afford to get rid of any of the other cards in my hand. So it's the best sacrifice, I think. This is a little bit tougher. Everything seems kind of useful at this point, but I do end up getting rid of that Full Moon card. I'm saving that Here Be Monsters card just to try and cripple him later. That resource cripple, especially early game, can be can give you a big boost when you need it. If a human-based ally needs 6 to summon Aeon Stormcall, and you can delay that for a turn, it can actually give you a lot of time to prepare. So for now, I think saving that Here Be Monsters card was definitely a good idea. So at this point, I actually get rid of it, despite the fact that I just talked it up. It's sort of a survival of the fittest when it comes to these cards, and as you guys will see later, my capture prey cards are really pretty useful. So I take a Slash Stem with my Pack Wolf, taking an early point lead. We have pretty even life points, which works out well. I've got 28 and he has 27. So it provides the field for a nice even game health-wise. You get some of those champions like Boris who have 30 health against, I think the lowest champion health goes is 26 or 24, which isn't a huge difference, but at the end of the game, a 4-point difference can make it can be the turn of a battle. But I think the 26-point hero is a priest, so that works out, I guess. Okay, so now you see some of his tougher monsters start to come out. But instead of getting rid of my captured prey cards, well, I mean, getting rid of by casting, I do throw one away, and that was actually very foolish of me. But instead of using my captured prey, I just use my Full Moon card to buff up my monster and wipe out his Zoe Silversmith. And now I'm in a pretty, I'm working really hard on suppressing him, keeping him from getting those monsters out that he's going to need to wipe me out. At this point, he does have enough Shadow Energy to activate his special ability, which will allow him to give any monster ambush, haste, and stealth for a turn until the start of his next turn, I believe. So that's a pretty powerful special ability, and at 4 points, it's pretty reasonably priced. So any monster he plays now, and he's up to 4 cards, he can buff. And there's a 3/4 Lily Rolls Cult, I believe is the name of that card. So with that 3/4, he can easily wipe out my Pack Wolf, which it's putting me back on the defensive, and that just shows you how turn of the tide those Shadow Energy casts can be. So as you can see, I'm kind of debating whether or not to get rid of anything and give myself up to 5 resources, but I ultimately decide to keep everything in my hand. I check down my Woven Tracker and activate my own special ability. It's definitely best to stall in the situation I was just in. I need to keep my defenses up while amassing my own army. If I had gone for the kill, first of all, I couldn't have gotten the kill no matter what I did. But if I had tried to go on the offensive, I don't think it would have gone very well for me at all. Okay, so going into his next turn, he's got that Lily Rose Colt out there, and as a 3/4, she is pretty formidable. She's got more attack points and the same health points as my monster. The character he just played, I'd actually never seen before this game. and she has a very formidable special ability. Talking real quick about this sacrifice, I made a gamble here. I couldn't remember if my if either of his monsters were cast 3 cards, and apparently I was wrong, which was a big loss for me, as I realized that they're both cast 4 and cast 5. So that was a big loss for me. I really could have used another monster on the field, and it's really going to change the dynamic of this game dramatically. So I take a swipe at him to get some another card into my hand, which actually turns out to be a Brutalist, which I can chuck down. But it definitely would have behoved me to get another to keep the card that I ditched, which was another Brutalist. Oh, I think my girlfriend gave me her cold. Ugh. All right. So at this point, I'm at kind of in a different position until he drops Ankle Breaker. Now, Ankle Breaker is a very annoying card. It's going to allow him to disable me and wipe out one of the attack points on my Woven Tracker, who is sort of the very weak mainstay of my attack force at the moment. And as you can see, I am not getting lucky with these draws at all. You know, I mean, a lot of this game is based on skill, and a lot of it is based on knowing how to play the cards that you have. But I don't think anybody can debate that in a card game there is a certain amount of luck, you know, getting what cards you get at what times. This might not have been the best move, was attacking his Lance, just because I might have been able to make use of that Brutalist later, but oh well. So as you can see, I used my Moonstalker's ability again. At this point, I'm stalling for time, trying to keep my Moonstalker, or my Woven Tracker alive long enough to get either a Pack Alpha or another Full Moon out, so I can start wiping out his monsters. Because with that Lily Rose Colt out there, I could be in some trouble. And he has Ankle Breaker still, which means his hero is off limits until I get some more powerful attack force on my side. And even then, that Ankle Breaker can be a real crippler. So he does an excellent strategic move. He retreats his own monster to get rid of my Captured Prey card, and now he can replay it without any hindrance next turn, which is really bad for me. So at this point, you know, I'm really in dire straits. I decide to keep all the cards in my hand for now, and you know, I know that at this point, if I attack either one of his monsters, I'm going to lose the monster I attack with. But I go for it anyway because I really need that drawn card, and decide to take a swipe at him. I really should have taken a swipe at his Lily Rose Cult. Taking 1 damage off him was just not worth it, but, you know, you do what you can. So, coming up here, obviously, he's going to replay his Reven Wildheart. And now I'm facing down the same 2 monsters I just faced. I am surprised. I think he has enough Shadow Energy to use his special ability, and he didn't use it, which I found kind of surprising. But, you know. So I get rid of one of my regenerations. I should have gotten rid of my Now You're Mine card, because at this point, he's probably not going to be playing a lot of lower tier monsters, but, you know, I mean, after that, who knows. I do get a nice counterattack by using Rabid Bite on his stronger monster. It wipes out his Lily Rose Colt. However, now I'm defenseless on the field should he use his Lance Shadowstalker to do something like this. Now, I want to talk for a minute about the Marshlands card he just played. You're not going to hear me talk a lot about card imbalance or what I think of certain choices the developers made when they put the game together. But I have to say, based on this game and just the way that card works, I feel that it needs to be nerfed a little. The problem with that card is that, first of all, it's a cast 4 card, so it doesn't take that long to get out. It's a 2/4, so it's not, you know, an insta-gib card early in the game. And for 0 energy, it can, like, perma-gib any monster on the field down to 0 attack. It's basically the same as a Crippling Blow card from my Boris Skullcrusher deck. To me, that's a pretty freaking powerful ability. I mean, good lord. I mean, you just want to talk about sheer power of a card, and that thing is just that thing's special ability. Now, if it could not attack, or if it was only till the end of your turn to prevent counterattacking, to me that would make a lot more sense, but it just doesn't happen that way. I feel like it needs a bit of a balance. So I rolled the dice on the Raven Wildheart, but she instead attacks Lance. It gives me a slight damage to him, but I really could have used one of his monsters being wiped out. And at that point, I'm just playing Regeneration as a stall tactic. I know at this point that my pack wolf card is going to be eliminated, and you know, there's really nothing I can do about it. And he gets out another one of those Marshlands cards. If anybody knows a really good counter to that Marshlands card that I'm just not thinking of, I mean, obviously, yes, I know killing them, but here you'll see that that's not as easy as it sounds when they get out before you do. And I think it's kind of BS that they can use their ability on you even when you're stealthed. Meaning, you know, you can't be attacked or by anything. They can still target you with that ability. To me, that's a little on the not cool side. But, you know, again, this guy, and I don't want to give you guys the wrong impression. This guy played a very good game. You know, we're both playing very good games. So I'm not trying to just rage about how it didn't work out for me, or it's not working out for me. I'm just saying that the way that card was used and how easy it was for it to just suppress any attack, and you'll see later on, it does even more of that. But it's just, ugh, I feel like it should have more of a drawback than it does. So as you can see at this point in the game, I did manage to wipe out his 3/1 monster, but that's sort of just chinking away at the armor here because he's got 3 now very formidable monsters on the field, and without my full moon card, I have no attack power on my pack wolf. And he's got, you know, several monsters on the field that can very easily beat me down, and then he plays a Nightblade or Shadowblade. One of my favorite monsters when I use Shadow decks, it's a very powerful card, or it can be. With a 1/2 that has both stealth and ambush, it's basically impossible to kill with a creature card. You have to use a special ability or a magic card to kill it, and it's pretty impressive for a card that really doesn't cost much to play. So as you see, he wipes out my pack wolf, and at this point, you know, we're winding down. I think now you guys are probably starting to understand why I called this video Spiral. However, you know, a lot of people would cut and run, but honestly, if I hadn't been recording this, I probably would have too. But I decided to really stick it out, try to draw it out as long as I could. I know at this point there's nothing in my deck that can counter those Marshlands combo. That Marshlands combo, man, those cards are just evil. But I'm sticking to it. And I have dealt him a fair amount of damage, so it wasn't, you know, this hasn't been a wash of a game. I did manage to do some damage to him. And I have a couple attempts up my sleeve. And now he plays one of my favorite cards, which is that Shadow Hunter card, the 4/3 with Stealth. Man, I love that card. So one of the big problems I'm having with this Wolf deck, even in the games that I won, is that just without a good draw engine, you know, getting one card a turn doesn't always work out for me in this deck. Sometimes I need more than that. And playing a Boris Skullcrusher deck where I always have a Blood Frenzy out has just, it's kind of spoiled me into having, you know, all the cards that I want whenever I want them. So, I'm just kind of thinking of how I should have Bad Santa in this deck. I know that most of the time I don't want to use it because it'll give my opponent more of an advantage than me. But in this position, I really could have used it. Getting 3 cards, you know, really could have made the difference in this game. It could have given me enough power to neutralize him, potentially. I mean, there's a lot of potential for what I could have done. So at this point, he's just neutralizing whatever feeble attempts I chuck out to fight. And now he's going to start going after me. So, I know in the last video I had mentioned I really hope that I really hope that I get enough that I get some stronger enemies or some stronger opponents who will fight me and beat me. Oh well, it looks like I got my freaking wish. Man, it kind of sums up. Be careful what you wish for. I mean, but honestly, it's better. The whole point of this video series is that I'm supposed to improve and struggle a little to get better, especially if I'm trying to provide both inspiration for new players and also, and some entertainment for veterans. If I just wash every game, it's not going to be all that entertaining. So as you see now, he's wiping out my Keldor. One thing that this guy does do that I almost want to call BM on, I mean, this guy, that turn was fine, but later on, in a couple turns from now, let me put it this way. If you can end the game, there's no such thing as a trap card in this game, except maybe for some hunter cards, but I'm not a hunter player. There's no such thing as a trap card. So if you can end the game literally just by attacking the hero and you choose to prolong it by attacking his champions, in my opinion, it's very easy to consider that BM. The reason is because you're prolonging it. You're saying, well, I could end this, but I'd rather just kill your monsters and make... And it's like rubbing salt in the wound. It's like, well, I'm going to win anyway, but I'm going to draw it out and make you watch me kill all of your attack force. Now, I definitely contributed to that by playing a lot more monsters and by making moves that would prolong the game. But still, I mean, if you can end the game, do it. Don't be a jerk and try to draw out the game. And like one time, I was playing against an opponent who I asked, and I had a monster on the field, and my hero had low enough life that he could have easily wiped me out in one go, and he decided to kill my champion on the field rather than, or my ally on the field rather than go for my hero, and it prolonged the game by a turn. And I said, why did you kill my hero, or why did you kill my ally when you could have killed my hero? And he said, oh, for fun. That's bad manners. I get that, it may be fun for you to kill everything your opponent has, but you have to remember, it's kind of degrading to watch all of your monsters get torn to pieces by your opponent and knowing there's nothing you can do about it. It kind of sucks. It's not a nice feeling. And if the situation reversed, you probably wouldn't want them to draw it out for you. So sorry, I went on a little bit of a rant there just because you'll see he does it in a minute where he just draws it out. So now we're seeing again those freaking Marshland cards neutralizing my Shadow Knight. There's no way around it. This kid just straight up outplayed me. And at this point, I think we all know how this game's going to end. But he absolutely outplayed me. He played a phenomenal game. He has a very good deck composition. Plenty of nice mix of monster and magic cards to neutralize my monsters, sort of like my Boris deck has. And I'm not going to lie, I didn't get the best draws this game, but that is absolutely not why I lost. I lost because I got outplayed. Still, I am surprised by the just sheer power of those Marshland cards. I mean, I really think that they might get a balance sometime in the near future. I'm hoping, anyway. So here's what I was talking about with him not finishing the game when he could have. He gets me down to 2 life, and he's got me down to, he's got me down to 1 life. So any monster could poke me and easily finish this game. Like, there's absolutely nothing I could do about it. I throw down my Wolven Tracker just for giggles. I could use my monster's special ability, my Moonstalker special ability, and save me for another turn, but there's just no point at this juncture. He's got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 monsters that can attack at this point, and I've got 3, 2 of which have 0 attack power. And even with my Pack Alpha potentially going on my Wolven Tracker, there's no way I'm gonna make a comeback here. And this is what I'm talking about. So he wipes out, and you can see me going ... because I just don't know why he's drawing this out. he wiped out my Ogolf. He takes the time to kill everything I have on the field. And to me, this is really just him displaying dominance. He could have poked me with anything and just instantly killed me. But he chooses to wipe out all of my monsters, and I feel like this is just him. Maybe I'm over-interpreting, but I feel like this is just him rubbing it in that he beat me. Still, he played an excellent game. I think I played pretty well too, but that is my first loss of the series. So hopefully I can use this to improve my deck. Please make comments on what you think I should do. And I do drop down 2 ratings to 184. So yeah, there's my 4th game. Hopefully going into tomorrow I start out the day better. Don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.